Venezuela's economic crisis has become so bad that people are now eating wild animals they can find. The price of items continues to rise so dramatically, citizens simply can't keep up. Hyperinflation is taking over, and people are suffering. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Let's get into this today, looking at Venezuela. I also want to talk about Greece and some other issues, beginning with this. After suffering months of merciless shortages of food, medicine, Venezuelans now face a new problem as a result of the economy's collapse. They can't even get passports. They need to leave the country. Now talk about a travel ban when they can't even get passports. Venezuela's bankrupt government does not have the money to import the materials and spare parts needed for machines to make the passports, leaving thousands of citizens without the possibility of traveling abroad. And this article here talks about the challenges they are facing right now, specifically with this. You also have the border between Colombia and Venezuela that has been reopened after a year. I covered when they closed that border, and now here we are approximately 1 year later where they have reopened it. Traveling is definitely a problem here, and it's going to be for the foreseeable future if this continues. I mean, they don't even have enough funds to repair their passport making machines. This is truly becoming severe, and then you get through an article like this onto this one, and it makes you wonder what the heck is going on. Venezuela's food crisis, which, by the way, to interject, I've shown you the lineups that people have to face, the food rationing. It's become truly something that will go down in the history books. Venezuela's food crisis has gotten so bad that people are apparently killing pink flamingos and other protected animals in order to stave off hunger. Look, people do desperate things. They become desperate when times are, in these dire straits. Well, this is happening right now. I won't read you the whole article, but I will cover a few points. Flamingo hunting is both illegal and uncommon in South American nation. Investigators from this particular university have noted at least 20 cases of bird carcasses being discovered with their breast and torsos removed. So they're basically being hunted and eaten. And this would seem to be, to some, rather normal. Regardless, the reason why this has taken place is because people are suffering. Flamingos aren't the only unusual animal to become a victim of Venezuela's worsening food crisis. Remains from everything from dogs, cats, donkeys, and even giant anteaters have been found in the garbage bags at city dumps around the country. And just below this is basically talking with the waste disposal. They were saying that, normally we find a couple little things here and there, but now we are really getting used to seeing a lot of unusual parts, body parts and stuff from these animals. And it's absolute fact what's happening, and it is certainly really hit another level. When you try to intervene on an economy, you only make it worse. That is an absolute fact. The more intervention that there is, the worse things will get. This is one example. Now, that's not exclusively what has happened here in Venezuela. That's not the reason why everything is going down, but it definitely exacerbates the issue. It makes it worse every time. And that is something that people need to understand. They're always looking at what's on the surface, but never addressing the root cause. So hopefully one day will come around. The Greek Prime Minister on Saturday warned the IMF and the EU and Germany to stop playing with fire over the debt problems of Greece. So basically what he said was, look, we owe some money, but chill out. That's pretty much the message. We expect, as soon as possible, that the IMF revise its forecast so that discussions continue at the technical level. There has been such a fight going back and forth. The IMF wants more austerity. Cut from pensions, cut from entitlement programs. And this is the fact, the obvious fact, that those in Greece, they don't want to give up those pensions. They don't want to have entitlement reform. But you have those who are basically saying, we simply cannot afford it. And even when they had a referendum, even when they said, look, you decide, do you want a bailout? Yes or no? We're going to ask you. And then they voted and said no. And immediately, I mean, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it seemed like within a week they accepted a bailout. I mean, they don't care. The government does not care. And it shows you, truly shows you, where this is all heading. Not just for Greece, but for Europe and, of course, the rest of the world. Switching gears into something that I talk about regularly. When you browse online for a new pair of shoes, pick a movie, or stream Netflix, or apply for a car loan, an algorithm likely has its word to say on the outcome. This covers all these different sort of algorithms, how they're affecting your life. They're basically suggesting that the algorithms play a big role in all this technology that we are influenced by on a daily basis. I won't get into the article. All I wanted to note was that computer algorithms are running the stock exchanges, all the financial markets, in fact. And they are able to literally, and this is with high frequency trading as an example, you as an investor go to place your bid on Apple stock at, let's say, $1 a share. You go to buy that stock. It sees you're going to buy it at $1 per share, and it actually buys it and sells it back to you at $1.01 per share. It's so fast, so intelligent, that it's able to do that successfully every single time. That is what we are dealing with. That's the kind of competition that we have. That you can't even place simple trades without being beaten by technology. And you are not on the right side of that. I assure you, we're always on the losing side. This year, not going to get into the ins and outs, but the Bank of Canada blockchain test spotlight challenges, okay? They're just suggesting that it's not all good. They're suggesting, the sort of the cons about blockchain. I just find it very interesting that the Bank of Canada is discussing blockchain. It's interesting to see, digital cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, blockchain. These are all getting major attention at this time. That's all I wanted to say. I know that many of my subscribers here are into Bitcoin. Thought I'd bring that to you. Would like to know your thoughts on that, of course. This right here is truly upsetting. And it seems like only in Canada someone could get away with this. Freedom granted to man who beheaded a bus passenger in Canada. So this guy gets on a coach bus, and he, I guess he looked like he was a diagnosed schizophrenic, and he starts stabbing the individual beside him, and then he, beheads him. He shows the head to the other people who had fled the bus. I mean, nobody, from what I understand, I couldn't read. I only read this article here and heard about it on the news at the time. People fled the bus, but from what I understand, they were standing outside the bus watching it. I mean, nobody's there to be helpful. I mean, we're a disarmed country here, obviously. Can't do much, I guess. So this happened back in 2008. But based on what I'm reading in this article, the individual is then granted a citizenship 4 years later. And that's absolutely shocking to me. So, number one, the guy kills a guy brutally. It's confirmed. It's him. That's it. The police got him. He gets off because he has schizophrenia, and then at the same time, he's given a citizenship. He's allowed to get a citizenship like this. I mean, it's unbelievable. You want to get away with murder, apparently you have to go to Canada. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. Last but not least, if you found the video informative, I know you will find my book, The Money GPS, even more informative. You can actually look through the book. If you go over to Amazon, they have a look inside feature that will allow you to flip through the pages of the book and see if you like it. Take care.